Hey there, welcome to Pain-Free Achilles. This is a place for runners who are looking to finally overcome Achilles tendonitis even after months or years of pain and not having physical therapy work for them or painful injection or literally any other treatments that you've tried. We figure out how to solve your Achilles tendonitis. Today, I want to share one of my favorite exercises that can help runners overcome Achilles tendonitis. Now, as a disclaimer, there's no one magic exercise that solves everything for every runner. Yes, heel raises or calf raises remain the gold standard for Achilles tendonitis recovery, but we also have to think about the Achilles tendon and where it attaches to and who they are connected with. So we'll look at all of that today. So let's get to it. The single leg deadlift is one of my favorite exercises that runners can use to help strengthen the posterior chain of the body and reduce stress on the tendon as they figure out a way to get back to running or continue running with Achilles tendonitis. Okay, so if you look at the body from the back, the posterior, you will see from the bottom up that the Achilles tendon is connected to the calf muscles. So technically 3 calf muscles. We call them the triceps psoas complex. But we tend to focus on the 2 main muscles that really power 99% of the ankle movement that the calf muscle is responsible for generating. And this movement is critical for running, jumping, going up down stairs, and anything that requires your foot to go down, like you're pressing on a gas pedal. Even though they're not directly connected to other muscles in the body, they share the same fascial system. And the fascia is a thin layer of tissue that basically holds the body together. While it's been long debated exactly what role the fascia plays and how active it is in terms of contributing to pain or dysfunction in the body, we do need to keep in mind that any changes in muscle length or activity above the calf muscle could potentially affect how the calf muscle operates. As a consequence of that, you could see increased strain on the Achilles tendon if we don't pay attention to the posterior chain of the body. Above the calf muscle are the hamstring group, and the hamstring plays a critical role in running because it serves as a deceleration muscle. As it decelerates the body, what it does, it allows the calf muscle to take off as you push off to the next step. But when they get injured, they often unload it, and the tendon is just clamoring to be rebuilt and challenged so that it can make new tendons become stronger and more organized so that it can get out of pain. But I get that pain is often a limiting factor and people just don't want to do the exercises because it's so painful. So we need to find a way around that problem. By incorporating strength training exercises, we can do that because we can strengthen the posterior chain and the muscle above the calf muscle so that you can finally take the strain off the Achilles tendon during your daily activity. So that's enough about the posterior chain and anatomy of the body. I'm sure you're wondering, okay, the single leg deadlift is great, but it's really challenging. It requires me to stand on one leg and basically do a forward T exercise. And I get that. I struggle with balance too, and the single leg deadlift is not my favorite to perform, but it is my favorite to utilize as a progression to help runners understand that they can really strengthen the posterior chain of the body, take stretch off the Achilles tendon, and eventually find themselves to become a stronger and faster runner. To learn how to do a single leg deadlift, we often have to start from the very basics. Basically, what a deadlift is, you're performing an exercise that involves a hip hinge while maintaining a neutral spine. I don't want you to obsess over technique and make sure it's nice and perfect, because consider your running form. You're not really doing that hinging motion deadlift during the running activity, so you don't need to worry too much about the technique. I also want you to think about your daily life. Like, when do you ever go down to the floor to pick something up and you do a perfect hip hinge? Rarely. You probably get in a squat. It's an ugly squat. So that's why form and technique isn't as important as some of the fitness gurus might want you to believe. Because at the end of the day, it's how we target the muscle so that we can strengthen the body, so that we can take the stress off the tendon and get you back to running in no time. Alright, so the first exercise is the 2-arm traditional deadlift with a kettlebell. And frankly, you can use any weight that you want to do. This is a traditional deadlift that you would see athletes in the gym perform. With this exercise, I want you to focus on the hip hinging. You can perform 5 sets of 5 if you're using the heaviest weight possible. If you're trying this out as a body weight exercise, you can increase the reps up to 10 or 15. The next exercise is the 1-arm traditional deadlift. And this is where, instead of using 2 dumbbells or a kettlebell, you're using 1. The 1-arm deadlift is a bit more challenging because it forces you to be off center a little bit. The weight is shifted off to the side, and that could be challenging for your posterior chain. So the next 2 exercises are going to be the stagger stance deadlift. So the first one is 2 arms. You're going to perform it just like you did with the first exercise. And then the second exercise, you're going to do it with 1 arm with a weight. And I would, again, challenge you to do 5 sets of 5 of the heaviest weight you can tolerate. And again, if you're doing this body weight over the light weight, you can always increase the reps. And then the last set of exercise are the traditional single leg deadlifts, where you're balancing on your one leg and you're performing a forward T. And you can start with 2 arms, which is a bit easier because your weight is evenly balanced. And then you can progress to 1 arm, which is a bit more difficult because, like I said before, your weight is a little off center and it challenges your balance a little bit. Speaking of balance, the single leg deadlift also has the added benefit of challenging your balance, which is, again, a critical component of your running form. If you look at a picture of a runner mid-stride, you'll see that one foot is on the ground, the other leg is suspended in the air. And then when you push off of the foot that's on the ground, you're actually mid-air, split second, before your other foot hits the ground. This is highly applicable to runners and their need to resolve Achilles tendonitis as quickly as possible, but also as safely as possible, because the last thing I want to hear is people going to PT or trying a progression and they get better, but then the pain comes back. And there's a reason for it. There's something going on. So if you're someone who's struggling with Achilles tendonitis and you're sick and tired of going to physical therapy and trying treatment after treatment that doesn't seem to work, I am offering a one-on-one coaching program that is helping runners overcome Achilles tendonitis, even if they've had pain for years. So check out the link below. There's a ton of information, and if you need help now, just comment help and I'll reach out to you and see if I can help you. Leave a comment and let me know what you think of this video, and I'll see you next time. I appreciate you guys.